Hello, everyone. So nice to have, thank you so much for having me here. So I'll just get started. Wellbeing is something that has intrigued me since I was at university. I'm pretty sure my friends and family would describe me as a very happy, contented person, but I often felt heaviness of shame, social anxiety, and loneliness at the same time. And it sparked a curiosity in me to understand why it sometimes felt so low, but I couldn't imagine a whole life of stress and worrying stretching out in front of me, and then in other moments feel so happy. I didn't feel resilient to what life threw at me, and sometimes I felt like well-being evaded me. Such curiosities have kick-started a journey of exploration and discovery, and a lifelong passion for well-being and emotional resilience. And in the next few minutes, I want to share with you a few thoughts and actions that we can take to increase our emotional resilience or well-being during unprecedented times. So I want you to imagine, first of all, a boat on a lake, which represents any one of us navigating the course of our lives. Underneath the lake are rocks, and these represent the difficulties and challenges that we face in our lives. The big stuff, the small stuff, times of adversity. In one scenario, the boat hits the rocks and it's really stopped by them. In an alternative scenario, the water level rises, allowing the boat to sail smoothly over the rocks. The water level represents resilience, how strong we are and our ability to bounce back from tough times. The rocks are still there, but they're no longer stopping us in our tracks. When we take action to create more happiness and well-being in our lives, this water level rises and our resilience increases, making us stronger and better able to get through life's more difficult times. And it's an investment really worth making. I believe COVID has reminded us that life is imperfect, messy, uncertain, and acceptance is key to survival. This has been a really tough year for all of you in the room who are control freaks, like me. Ultimately, we must come to accept that we are fragile, miraculous species who have never been complete masters of our circumstances. There are things we absolutely must change about this world that are unjust and unsustainable. But there are also forces and circumstances larger than us, and to these we must gracefully submit. We must accept, though we hear it time and time again, that it is indeed okay to not be okay, and that we are not perfect or unbreakable, just like the world around us. We must fall out of love with the idea of normal and realize that a significant part of our chances of success, of overcoming difficult periods of mental unwellness, is hinged in our attitude towards our mental health itself. A philosophy of acceptance takes the weight off our shoulders, the weight of shame, embarrassment, self-loathing. Everything is imperfect and no one is spared. We all have troubled pasts, we all experience failure, loneliness, rejection, and we will all be anxious and lost. But we can accept that it is not unusual, and in fact, it may be quite normal. Zen Buddhism teaches us to see beauty in that which is broken. A bowl that is broken is put back together with gold filling the cracks, not thrown away in embarrassment. Let us learn from this beautiful philosophy that when we break, we can become even more beautiful than ever before. And indeed, these cracks can be celebrated for their beauty instead of hidden away. We can learn to delight in the ordinary. After being confined to our homes, to our local communities, to our countries, we can come to view it through new eyes and with a renewed sense of curiosity and appreciation. Gratitude can serve us well to give us the focus we need to notice the small daily blessings. A cup of tea from our partner, the morning sun streaming in through the window, bird song, the distant sound of laughter, the smell of coffee. Let the pause lead us to simpler lives that unlock a new level of gratitude for life in our immediate settings. Delight in the absurd and let yourself be silly and playful. Laugh at a pointless but hilarious meme, dance as you get dressed, and do what makes you laugh to find joy in unsuspecting places. We all know of the importance to find innovative and creative ways to nurture our connections with others during times of limited contact. But I'm sure that as a result, we're feeling a little bit zoomed out. But this is also a time to nurture better connections with ourselves. Learning things like, how do we handle failure or success? What are the bad habits we fall prey to in our relationships, especially when we're trapped indoors? Or what do we tend to do when we feel frustrated in life? And why is knowing ourselves important? Among many things, it helps us become more emotionally mature. It helps us work out what we want to do with our lives by understanding our strengths and passions. And we'll understand better what we need to be happy. Beyond our connections with ourselves, we can seek other forms of connection to take our minds away from the madness and uncertainty that we see around us this year. We can read history books, explore the art world online, learn more about cultures we come from. Art and culture are an excellent source of wonder, delight, and wisdom, and they unite us, not just to different cultures and communities, but different generations and periods of history, a different form of adventure when we're stuck in our homes. On the topic of connection, we should contemplate the strong connection between inner well-being and the social change that so many of you here today are here to create in the world. When we connect our inner change to social change, the importance of our own well-being increases dramatically, being not only important in and of itself, but also as it contributes to accelerating the solutions of your startups, your non-profits, and the activism that you're promoting to drive more effective social change. As social change makers, taking your well-being seriously and treating yourselves with care is by no means a selfish act. And finally, and perhaps most importantly of all, we must learn that we are never going back, the theme of this event series. This unusual pause in history has changed us all, and the value you place on your well-being as we slowly move out of this crisis is in your hands. You are the leaders of tomorrow who will define what well-being in the workplace looks like. Let us learn from the resilient social innovators who have moved through this crisis with care and compassion for their employees. Leaders like Dara here in Cambodia, the CEO of Phar Cambodian Circus, who despite 11 long months of severely reduced pay, still has a strong team who say, we're all in this together as they approach their last month of cash flow. And as a side note, please support them if you can. Going forward, we must forget that change is not unprecedented. There has always been change, uncertainty, and shock, and there always will be. By appreciating, understanding, and investing in ourselves and our well-being, our emotional resilience will gain strength and our water level will rise. If you are already leading an organization, prioritize well-being in your company manifestos and strategies. At the Impact Hub Network, we've just integrated well-being strategy into our 2030 goals. Advocate for this in your organizations, because there is no better time to start this conversation. More practically, before I finish, I want to signpost you guys to a few great initiatives that can support you on your wellbeing journeys and give you some more concrete recommendations moving forward. The Wellbeing Project, which is a fantastic platform which is really dedicated to social change makers like yourselves and wellbeing. And there's also an opportunity in the pipeline to receive free wellbeing support through them. The Wellbeing Toolkit for Entrepreneurs is also now live, which was co-written by Impact Hub Phnom Penh, which I'll put the link in the chat afterwards. And those of you that are based in Bangladesh right now, I really recommend for you to search out Fahana Muna on YouTube, an amazing young advocate and comedian on mental health. So let us bounce back from this crisis, connecting, listening, and responding stronger than ever before. I hope this dark moment of history unites us and strengthens our resolve to build a better world. Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.